Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about my favorite little parts of Breaking Dawn. So, I like to focus on the parts that not a lot of people really acknowledge. Like, obviously, I love the ending where Bella lets him into her head. I thought that was the most magnificent part in the entire series. The wedding night, things like that. But I also love the little parts that are like really hilarious. For example, one of my favorite parts is in the beginning when Edward is being dragged away to his bachelor party. And let me just read this to you because I think that it is hilarious. Not in that sense. I've been waiting a century to marry you, Miss Fawn. The wedding ceremony is the one thing that I can't wait. He broke off mid-thought. Oh, for the love of all that's holy. What's wrong? He gritted his teeth. You don't have to call my brothers. Apparently, Emmett and Jasper aren't going to let me bow out tonight. I clutched him closer for 1 second, then released him. I didn't have a prayer of winning tug-of-war with Emmett. Have fun. There was a squeal against the window, someone deliberately scraping their steel nails across the glass to make a horrible cover-your-ears, goosebumps down your spine noise. I shuddered. If you don't send Edward out, Emmett, still invisible in the night, hissed menacingly. We're coming in after him. Go, I laughed, before they break my house. Edward rolled his eyes, but he got to his feet in one fluid moment, and he had his shirt back on another. He leaned down and kissed my forehead. Go to sleep. You've got a big day tomorrow. Thanks. That's sure to help me wind down. I'll meet you at the altar. I'll be the one in white. I smiled at how perfectly blasé I sounded. He chuckled, very convincing, and then suddenly sank into a crouch, his muscles coiled like a spring. He vanished, launching himself out my window, too swiftly for my eyes to follow. Outside there was a muted thud, and I heard Emmett curse. You better not make him late, I mumbled, knowing they could hear. And then Jasper's face was peering in my window, his honey hair silver in the weak moonlight that worked through the clouds. Don't worry, Bella. We'll get him home in plenty of time. I was suddenly very calm, and my qualms all seemed unimportant. Jasper was, in his own way, as talented as Alice in her uncannily accurate predictions. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So anyways, I just thought that part was really funny when Emmett scratched on the window and was just like, send him out. We don't want to know what you're doing in there. Just send him out. And yeah. So, what other parts? Oh, yes. When Jacob gets food in Rosalie's hair. This is told by Jacob's point of view, by the way. Allow me, I suggested. He paused, raising an eyebrow. Silently, I lifted my doggy bowl off the floor. Then, with a quick, powerful flip of my wrist, I threw it into the back of Blondie's head so hard that, with an ear-splitting bang, it smashed flat before it ricocheted across the room and snapped the round top piece off the thick newel post at the foot of the stairs. Bella twitched but didn't wake up. Dumb blonde, I muttered. Rosalie turned her head slowly, and her eyes were blazing. You got food in my hair. That did it. I busted up. I pulled away from Bella so that she wouldn't shake her, and I laughed so hard that tears ran down my face. From behind the couch I heard Alice's tinkling laugh join in. I wondered why Rosalie didn't spring. I sort of expected it, but then I realized that my laughing had woken Bella up, who she'd slept right through the noise. Yeah, so, basically, Rosalie, hilarious. Oh, and of course, the moment that Edward first hears Renesmee's voice, because that's when he turns from the flaming man to dazzling Edward again. So I'm starting around here. He swallowed. The baby likes the sound of your voice. There was one short beat of total silence. I could not even move a muscle, even to blink. Then, holy crow, you can hear him, Bella shouted. In the next second, she winced. Edward's hand moved, blah, blah, shh. He murmured, you startled it. Him. His eyes got all wide and full of wonder. She patted the side of her stomach. Sorry, baby. Edward was listening hard. He tilted toward the bulge. What's he thinking now? She demanded eagerly. It, he or she, is... He paused and looked up into her eyes. His eyes were filled with a similar awe, only his were more careful and grudging. He's happy, Edward said, in a credulous voice. Her breath caught. It was impossible not to see the finical gleam in her eyes, the adoration and devotion. As he stared at her, his face was not frightened or angry or burning, or any of the other expressions he'd worn since their return. He was marveling with her. Blah, 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 talking about names. Yes, it was. What? He paused and then said, What? He likes my voice, too. Of course he does. Her tone was almost gloating. You had the most beautiful voice in the universe. Who wouldn't love it? Blah, 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 more Renesmee names, just in case it's a girl. Edward was staring off into space, his face blank as he listened. What? Bella asked, her face just glowing anyway. What's he thinking now? At first he didn't answer, and then, shocking all of the rest of us again, 3 distinct and separate gasps, he laid his ear tenderly against her stomach. He loves you, Edward whispered, sounding dazed. He absolutely adores you. In that moment I knew I was alone. All alone. Blah, blah, Jacob being stupid. Anyways, so those were 3 of my favorite little moments. There's probably more, but I just can't remember them. And yeah, but I just want to read the last part of the book because it's just so awesome. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, no. You have to go read that for yourself. And because I don't think I could do it justice if I read it. Basically, I love the whole book, but I love the little random funny parts. And I especially like when Edward stops being the Burning Man. So, peace. Subscribe, I'll bite you new videos every day.